Information Minister Nkrumah has revealed the outgone Special Prosecutor Martin Amidu on his own offered the government the opportunity to respond to the findings of the corruption risk assessment he conducted contrary to claims of government interference. The president, through his executive secretary, in the 9-page 40-point response, among other things, described the claims as untenable and perplexing. We'll hear from Mr. Nkrumah shortly, but first we unpack the claims and responses in the following news desk report.
The first matter of failure to resource his office, Martin Amidu in his resignation letter said,
the compulsion to use a limited number of staff in a 3-bedroom and boys' quarters accommodation undermined the achievement of the objects of the office and my undertaking an oath before Parliament. One cannot seriously continue to prevent and fight corruption by depending on a seconded staff of a 2-year duration who are looking forward to and or over their shoulders to returning to their main employers, who consequently may have more influence over them than the special prosecutor under whom they are supposed to work.
To this claim by Martin Amidu, the government roundly and flatly denies and insists they had adequately resourced Martin Amidu to undertake the duties of his office. In the response of the presidency, signed by Executive Secretary to the President, Nana Asante-Bediatuo, it is claimed,
in 2018, an amount of 1 million Ghana cedis was released to your office to enable it undertake set-up activities. In June 2019, your office requested and was granted commencement authorization to incur capital expenditure of 2.79 million cedis. You failed to make a request for payment in respect of this related procurement.
The response goes on to state that, quotes,
the compensation budget for the Office of Special Prosecutor in 2019 was not utilized because your office was not able to recruit relevant staff by the end of the year. In 2019, financial clearance was given to your office to recruit 249 staff. As at the end of the year, the staff had not been recruited. The failure of your office to recruit personnel cannot be laid at the doorstep of government.
The government further claims it identified the building opposite the Bank of Ghana Hospital in Cantonments. However, the special prosecutor placed a call to the chief of staff to indicate his preference for another building belonging to the erstwhile Ghana National Trading Corporation, close to the British High Commission. The government accepted the request, and whilst renovation was still ongoing, Martin Amidu halted works and requested for a 10-story building at Ridge belonging to the gov't. The letter adds that after renovation, Martin Amidu refused to move in because the keys to the building were disrespectfully sent to him in an envelope. On the other matter relating interference in the duties of the special prosecutor, Martin Amidu wrote,
the one condition upon which I accepted to be nominated as the special prosecutor was your firm response to me that you will respect and ensure same by your government for my independence and freedom of action as the special prosecutor. You, President Akufo-Addo, had labored under the mistaken belief that I could hold the office of the special prosecutor as your poodle.
Among other things, Martin Amidu alleged that the president had invited him to his office to impress on him to shelve his corruption risk assessment report, which had, among other things, made findings of bid rigging and conflict of interest against the finance minister, and also a negative anti-corruption assessment against the presidency in the manner it gave executive approval for the deal. The presidency responds by saying,
at the outset, it must be made clear that throughout your tenure as special prosecutor, neither the president nor any member of his government has interfered or sought to interfere with your work. Your accusation of interference with your functions simply on account of the meeting the president held with you is perplexing. An exercise of what you considered to be your powers under Act 959, you had voluntarily proceeded to produce the Ejapa report.
It is left to be seen if, as characteristic of citizen vigilante Martin Amidu, he will respond to the specific issues raised in the response from the presidency to his resignation letter.
But Information Minister Nkrumah revealed Mr. Martin Amidu offered government the opportunity to respond to corruption risk assessment reports findings contrary to claims of government interference.
We respect Mr. Martin Amidu, and we respectfully disagree with these two arguments that he has put in the public domain. And for the purposes of the public record, it is important to state the facts as they are, and the public can make their judgment. Now, I hear my brother Bright talk about initialization of the office, and that government could have done better with the initialization of the office. Let me be quite clear. We don't need to mince words about it. When an institution is set up, a governing board is put in place, and persons who administer that institution are appointed into office. The responsibility of initializing the office is a joint responsibility between the one who sets up the office, i.e. government, and the persons who are seized with the powers to have that office functioning. You cannot initialize the office and hand it over to them to operate. What central government will do is to provide the resources and logistics that the persons who are seized with this responsibility require, so that they can also do their end of the bargain. Ms. Amidu has served notice to the whole world that the office of the president or the government of Ghana literally failed to do so, or to do its part of it. What we have done is to provide the facts that that is not true. So if any analyst now wants to go beyond that and say that we should have initialized the office and handed it over to Mr. Amidu, even Mr. Amidu would disagree with that view.